Hello, my name is Sean, and this is Go. Today, we're going to be talking about the new McLaren Artura. I'm going to tell you what's new, I'm going to tell you what's old, and I'm going to tell you what's different. Firstly, there's nothing old on this car. Everything is brand new. This car debuts McLaren's carbon fiber lightweight architecture. From what I understand, it's a blend of different carbon fibers. It's all for weight saving purposes, because without it, this car would be massive. This is McLaren's first plug-in turbocharged V6 hybrid. Interestingly enough, you don't have to plug it in because the batteries regenerate through the braking and other functions of the car. And yes, you can drive this car in all electric mode for about 13 miles at a top speed of 75 miles per hour. The twin turbocharged V6 makes about 577 horsepower, while the E-motor makes 97. This car's peak horsepower is supposed to be 670 horsepower. But according to James on Jam on Cars, this car's peak performance only lasts about 15 seconds, with its nominal horsepower being around 640. Now, I'm not going to make any guesses of why this car loses so much horsepower. You know, it's only 30 or 40 horsepower. So, in the grand scheme of things, this car is still plenty fast. Now, let's talk about the weight. This car's dry weight is 3,750 pounds, and its den weight is 3,303 pounds. So, this car is still plenty light, even though it does have those heavy batteries in it. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't say that this was the replacement to the 570. McLaren has done away with the nomenclature naming, starting with the Senna, and this car goes down the same line. They've also gotten rid of the Super and the Sport series. The Ultimate series will still exist. I don't know what they're planning on calling this. Now, it's just those names are no longer being used. Now let's talk about some pricing. This is no longer the entry level McLaren. The entry level McLaren is now the V8 McLaren GT. This car is probably going to cost about $20,000 to $40,000 more than the 570. It is what it is. I guess you can expect those kind of price hikes with the new technology and what this car is. Now I want to talk about the styling of this car. This car design is still distinctly McLaren. The front to me seems a lot like the McLaren GT. I kind of like the front of that car, but it looks a little better on this. The side profiles is still, 570. You still can see the 570 in this car. Though this car is smaller with a shorter wheelbase, while other cars in the automotive industry are getting bigger, this one's gotten a little smaller. The rear end looks a lot like the 765 LT in the lights, and with the bulleted holes for cooling of the engine and all that stuff. It's the side profile I really like. I wasn't a real big fan of the 570. The design was doing way too much from the side profile, but this one's a lot simpler, a lot smoother. Of course, there's bigger intakes for more airflow, and there's front vents, which helps with airflow, keeping the car planted to the ground. And I'm really digging the design of the fine buttresses and how they go into the rear end of the car. I think it's a really nice design. It really doesn't break up the flow of the car. It looks pretty good. This car also doesn't have any type of wing, maybe just a small lip, and that's about it. Now let's talk about the interior. I'm really indifferent to the interior of this car. I think it's clean and simple. A lot of people don't like the screen that's there. I think the screen is okay. I had to see it in person to really judge on it. Of course, you don't get the flipping tachometry screen that you get on the 720 and Sennas of the world. You don't get that here. Now let's talk about if McLaren missed their golden opportunity with this car, and I'm probably gonna say yeah. I think this car probably should have came out before the GT. Now if this was still the entry level McLaren, then they did a pretty good job, but it's not. There's a V8 below this, so I don't know too many people that are going to go for a V6 hybrid or not over a V8 car. I just don't know. I didn't actually expect the GT to be the entry level car. I thought it was going to be this one, but no, this is in the middle somewhere, and that's kind of strange. They probably should have dropped this first and then did a GT with a V6. And I know those cars serve two different purposes, but Ferrari have two V8s and One is a GT car, and then they have a V12, which also a GT car. Maybe they need to do something like that here, and they probably will when it's time to replace the 720. But who knows when that's coming? Only McLaren knows. All I know, it could be coming next week. I'm not gonna take any guesses. It's McLaren. They always surprise me every year. But this car does come with a 5-year 70,000 mile warranty, and I think that's pretty excellent for what this car brings. And I don't know about you, but I would hate to be a McLaren owner with a car out of warranty. That would be so expensive. The thought of it's making me go bankrupt. And that's an excellent thing about this car and what McLaren is doing into the future. And I really do think McLaren's missed a golden opportunity with this car, and it's more about the timing than anything. You probably could have not have the entry level McLaren be a V8. I'm just saying, that just makes sense to me. So tell me, what do you think about the McLaren Artura? Do you prefer this over the last outgoing 675? Do you think this should be above the GT or below it? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you go out there and try to buy one of these cars. I like to know. Or tell me, are you going to go out and try to find a 675 LT that's been hit with that crazy depreciation and get into that? I really am interested in what you guys think about this car and where McLaren's going in the future. And with that said, I'd like to bring this video to a close. So if you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. If you want to see what I got planned next, come see what I got planned next. Got a lot of stuff for this channel. Really want you guys to be there with me. With that said, I'll catch you later.